If you clicked on this video, you're probably stuck in planning mode right now. You're overthinking your next move, you're waiting for the perfect moment, or convincing yourself you need one more course, one more strategy session, one more thing before you can actually start. Well, if that's you, good news, you're in the right place. I'm Carl, and over the past 5 years, I've built a 6-figure digital PR agency, grown an online magazine to hundreds of thousands of monthly readers, and scaled a call center to over 100K per month in revenue. And here is the thing that might surprise you. I did none of that by having perfect plans. In fact, I'm going to show you why that planning mindset is keeping you broke and how to flip the switch from dreamer to doer. So let me start with a story that will probably sound familiar. When I first decided to start my digital PR agency, I spent literally 2 months planning. I had spreadsheets, I had a business plan, I had researched competitors for hours every day, absorbing all the content they had online, looking at everything they did on LinkedIn and all of that stuff. I convinced myself I was being smart and strategic. You know what happened during those 2 months? Absolutely nothing. Zero revenue, zero clients, zero progress. Meanwhile, there was this guy in my network. Let's call him Mike, who had a similar idea around the same time. While I was busy planning, Mike sent 100 cold emails in his first week. Terrible emails, by the way. No fancy templates, his subject line sucked. Just, hey, I'm Mike, and this is what I do. I think I can help you. Are you interested? 10 of those people responded, and 1 became his first client. While I was still perfecting my pricing strategy, Mike was already making money and learning what actually worked. By the time I had finally launched my perfectly planned business, Mike was 2 months ahead of me and had real experience under his belt. That's when it hit me. Action beats planning every single time. Here is the thing. Planning feels productive. It feels like you're working towards your goal. But really, it's just procrastination in a business suite. We plan because we're scared. We're scared of failure. We're scared of looking stupid. We're scared of not being perfect. So we hide behind planning because it feels safe. And you can't fail at something you never actually try, right? But here is what I learned building multiple businesses. Perfectionism isn't just useless, it's actually destructive. While you're trying to figure out the right way to do something on your perfect timeline, your competition is already doing it the good enough way and getting results. Let me give you another example. When I started my online magazine, I had all this grand vision, custom website design, a professional logo, and a content calendar mapped out for 6 months. I was gonna launch with at least 100 perfect articles. And you know what actually happened? I got impatient after 3 weeks of preparation and just threw up a basic WordPress theme and started writing articles. And we published with the initial 5 articles I'd written and just started publishing more every day. That imperfect launch got me my first 1,000 visitors in that month. Their feedback and seeing that traffic come in completely changed my content strategy. If I had waited for my perfect launch, I would have spent 6 months building something that nobody actually wanted. So the lesson there, you can't steer a parked car. You need to start moving before you can course correct. So what should you focus on instead of endless planning? Simple. The things that actually move the needle. If you're starting a business, you need exactly 2 things: customers and the ability to drive value to those customers. That's it. Everything else is just noise. You don't need a perfect website, not a fancy logo, not that right business card, or the perfect social media strategy. You need people who will give you money, and you need to be able to solve their problems. Here is the real secret that nobody talks about. Consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't need to work 16 hours days. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to show up every day and do something. Anything that moves you forward, even by a little bit. And over time, that will compound. For me, that looked like sending 5 outreach emails every morning. Not 10, not 20, just 5. Some days they were great emails. Some days they were terrible. But I sent them every single day for 6 months. And do you know what happened? Those imperfect but consistent daily actions ended up building most of our client base today. But most people do the opposite. They'll work like crazy for 3 days, do all these things, then burn out and do nothing for 2 weeks. And then they'll wonder, why are they not making progress? But progress isn't made in big dramatic moments. It's made in small, boring, and consistent action repeated over time. Now, I'm not saying you should be reckless. You should be smart about what you're doing. But here is the difference. Instead of trying to plan for every possible scenario before you start with a good enough plan and then adjust as you go. Think of it as if you're driving a car at night. You can only see a few hundred feet ahead of you with your headlights, but you can drive across the entire country that way. So you don't need to see the whole road, You just need to see the next few steps clearly and execute them. When I launched my PR agency, I basically just modeled what was already working for another key player in the industry. But after working with my first few clients, I quickly realized that there were a lot of problems with that model and that they actually needed something quite a bit different with a lot more strategic ongoing support and working with them a lot more closer to maximize the amount of links and brand mentions over time and support them as part of their overall strategy as well. If I had spent months researching and planning, I would have never discovered those gaps in the existing model. I only learned that by starting working with real clients and adapting based on real feedback. The biggest business killer isn't competition. It's not lack of funding. It's not even a bad idea. It really is analysis paralysis. I see this all the time. People who have been working on their business idea for years. They know everything about their market. They can tell you exactly why their idea will work. They have spreadsheets and presentations and detailed financial projections. But at the end of the day, they've never made a single sale and don't have any client. Meanwhile, someone else comes along with a much worse idea, objectively, but executes it imperfectly and builds a real business. Execution beats ideas every single time. Look, I get it. Taking action without a perfect plan feels scary. But you know what's scarier? Looking back in 5 years and realizing you're in the exact same place because you spent all that time planning instead of doing. Your perfect plan doesn't exist. It doesn't. There is no amount of research or preparation that's going to guarantee success. The only guarantee is that if you don't start, you definitely won't succeed. So here is what I want you to do right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Pick one thing that you've been overthinking and take the smallest possible action on it today. Want to start a business? Send one email to a potential customer. Want to create content? Write one paragraph or film one video and actually post it. Want to learn a skill? Do one tutorial that day. Just one small action every day. That's it. Because here is the truth. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't that successful people have better plans. It's that they start before they feel ready and then they keep going when things get tough. So stop planning your way to failure. Start taking imperfect action towards real success. And I really mean that. Now, stop on your YouTube binging and go take action. Now.